Hello, and welcome to yet another podcast from esoterichaven.wall.fm. Today we are redoing the Celtic Cross Spread, and because the other one went, so even though it was a really good one, we're going to do another one. This time, the question that was asked, we're going to be made public, is a question from me personally. A friend of mine just died recently, and basically the question I asked was, how is he doing on the other side? And just so that you know what the Celtic Cross Spread looks like. Okay, things we do differently. Over here, we put, or at least I was taught to put a second row, and I do not do the two cards in the center here. So this is what it looks like, and that is how we are doing it. He's going to be doing it more his style, which he will explain in a second, and he also doesn't do the double card here in the center. So I'll leave it over to Josh to explain his deck and so on and so forth.
Hello everybody, I'm Josh, and I'm reading the Tarot of the Dead deck by Monica Knighton, and she's got some really nice art on it, and as you can see, it's most, is there a skeleton on that?
No, that's the pen.
Okay, on this one. The people in her cards are all skeletons, kind of flows with the Dia de los Muertos, theme and culture for the Spanish and the Mexicans. And, um, the deck is a little different than most normal decks because she uses different symbols to represent the wands, the pens, the wands, the swords, the pentacles, and the coins. For wands, she uses pens. For cups, she uses coffins. For swords, she uses pistols. And for coins, she uses reels. Basically, the major arcana are all the same. Except for the death card. The death card is actually the only card with a actual live human on it, sort of reversed from most normal cards. And of course, the death card represents change and fertility and rebirth and stuff like that. So we are going to start. And
Jen?
oh, Jen's going to go.
We have Jen coming in just to explain how the regular Celtic Cross Spread is done real quick.
Okay, the regular Celtic Cross, well, I should that. So, you have the cleric card, and you have the card that is what crosses them. It's what it says. It's basically your obstacle, which is where the cross comes in. Beneath that is what you stand upon. It's what you can call your own. It's your strength. And that's below on the bottom part of the cross. The top part of the cross is what crowns you. It's your higher self, your higher mentality. It's what you think about the situation intuitively. The left-hand side of the cross is the past. That's pretty self-explanatory. The right-hand side is the near future. Then when you get to the line that's over here, the traditional Celtic cross only has a line of 4. The bottom one is usually the card of attitude. It's a person's attitude towards the situation. The second card up is the house and home card. It is the environment that this person is in. The next one up is card number 9 is the hopes and fears portion of the program, and that's in the ninth position. And then the final card is the final outcome of of the entire overview of it. So that's your traditional Celtic Cross Spread, and let me give you back to Josh.
And just a real quick blurb, traditional, like she said, Celtic cross spread only has one line, and this is a variant that I was personally taught, and kick it over to Josh.
Okay. So after all that, we are going to do it a little differently. I'll try to let you clue you in on where the changes are. But we're going to do it as the deck says, just to that's how I do it. Anyway, all right. So the first card we're going to come to is the Ace of Reels reversed. That is that would be the Ace of Coins reversed, and that is the card which pretty much signifies the major issue with the question. And this actually is a pretty good card. This represents the Ace of Reels represents illness, believe it or not, and
Which my friend died of an illness, so that's fine.
it can also represent poverty and want, but I mean, pretty clear cut which definition this card's speaking of. And it's crossed by the Temperance card. The Temperance card in the book says, pours life's waters in an eternal cycle, cyclical refinement, immortality, moderation, and cooperation. Well, if you're speaking about somebody who's dead, and they died of an illness, and you have them crossed by the Temperance card, which speaks of, eternal cycle and cyclical refinement and pouring life's waters back into the circle of life, that would pretty much say that he's out there, that his energies are out there, and that he is well, we're not gonna say that he's anywhere at the moment. He's just in between at the moment, I would say. Okay. The top card above the cross, above the major cross, is the Knight of Coffins, which would be the Knight of Cups. And this card, or at least the position rather, above the major cross, says speaks of the past. And the Knight of Coffins is an introverted, seemingly mood-struck person with great inner strength.
Which is like,
I would say that would speak to him as a person. The card below the major cross. So basically, you're going right in a line in the middle of the cross to begin with. The card below is the Seven of Pistols reversed, which would represent the Seven of Swords. Is the need for help of others. So that's pretty much a card of help. Not before he died, obviously, but now.
do you think he's helping, he's passing on to the next stage?
I think he does. I have sort of cheated. I've gone, when we were setting up, I've gone ahead and looked through the reading, and I would say from what we'll soon see is that I think he needs help, sort of centering himself, getting over the fact that he is dead, and directing himself into a more positive rebirth. So the next card we're going to go to is the card to the left of the major cross, which is King of Heads. The King of Heads would represent the King of Wands. And that says self-assuredness, energetic, and dominating personality, and impatience with those less ambitious.
Which he was.
Now, this is also a possible outcome in the positioning as far as the Tower of the Dead is concerned. So, excuse me.
What would that be?
Self-assuredness, energetic, and dominating personality. I would say that
Like his personality sort of passed on to the next, and then
yeah, I
that
could
way.
see that. I could see that. Sort of like that. He's bringing a lot of his old personality with him, through with him.
He had a very strong personality.
The next card is the card to the left of the major cross, which is the Ace of Pistols reversed, which is the Ace of Swords in the Rider weight deck or most other decks. This position represents the near future. And the Ace of Pistols reversed shows weakness, lack of recourse, and ignorance. I would say that he's feeling these things at the moment. He's feeling um, weak and without options and um, well, ignorance is a strong word, but I mean, you know, he's in he's in the next lane, and
Yeah.
you know, none of us know what that's like. So you know,
Who knows what he could be ignorant of?
who knows what he could? Yeah, exactly.
Maybe he didn't reach out towards the light.
I think that's more possible, especially from a couple of the other cards that I've read. He, I think that he's confused and that he doesn't know how to aim himself correctly, to do what's best for him. Um, so I would think that's what the ignorance is speaking of.
Mm.
The next card is let's see, the self card. This would be where Jen was describing as your headspace, attitude, your attitude toward the situation. In the Tarot of the Dead book, it's geared to self. It's sure.
And in the way I was taught, it's the headspace and what you're thinking about. So see, there's three different ways of doing it. You know what I'm saying? So it all depends on your flavor. So.
The first card right here is the Five of Coffins, which signifies disappointment, inability to see the positive side of a bad experience. I don't think I have to, tell too many people that death is, at the most part, can be seen as the worst experience, or at least the most troublesome for a person to go through. Um, Hopefully, on the other side, we know better, and but I think, like I said, I think he's confused and he can't see the positive side. That he can be reborn, do it all again, to learn, to grow, and to choose better choices, to make better choices in his next life. The cool thing about, and I'm going to go through uh, the amplification line is our dual, our second line, which not too many people do. So I'm going to go through that at the moment, or on each particular one. His amplification in the area of self is King of Pistols, which would be the King of Swords, and represents an even-thinking, well-rounded person, honorable and respectable authority, a wise moderator. Yes. There could be two possibilities for this. One is that he's got some sort of guide who's trying to show him which way to go. The other possibility is that it is himself, the better part of himself, that's trying not to let himself get bogged down with all his fears and confusion, and to show him a better path for him to go to.
Can I say something?
Sure.
This is where Josh's intuition is always spot on. Dave told me a story, and I'll keep this really short, about how he did kind of have a guide, and this guide came to him at a